Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Intelligently Incompetent Podcast. So I apologize for missing last week's episode because I was unable to find an opportunity to record. The reason why that is because I usually prefer to record with an empty house, seeing as I'm still 17 in high school. I have to live with my parents, so I have to finding an opportunity where the house is empty and I can record is difficult. And the reason why I don't like recording whenever there's somebody in the house is just because it makes me feel weird. It's kind of awkward, just to me. So that's why I was unable to record last week, and I apologize about that. So yesterday, the 24th, I was able to go out to Frankfurt, which is the state capital of my area, to visit for becoming an Eagle Scout. Now, this was a class trip visit, and it was a group of us that went down there together, and it was an interesting experience. We got to meet the governor and some of our local representatives, and we were on the floor for the pledge during the House meeting, and we were able to sit in and listen to the Senate meeting for a while, till their first recess where we went down onto the floor and took a picture with our local Senate member. It was an interesting experience because we got to tour the building and look around and see the chambers, and to get a little bit of insight on our local legislative process. And I thought that was important. At the time that we were down there, there was a group that was currently lobbying for a restriction on money lenders. Basically the people that operate the payday loans businesses, and that because for some reason they're exempt from the 36 APR restriction that other places are. And so they'll be charging upwards of 400% or 400 APR, which is entrapping people into debt. Now, the reason that they were down there is because they thought that it was absolutely ridiculous to be charged that much interest. And personally, I think that it's really not that out of bounds. The reason why I think this is because a cash advance on your payday is not something that you really should be going forth to take every so frequently, because they were complaining that having this 400% APR on a loan every week, which is the maximum amount that you're able to take out, is one loan every week, is ridiculous, and it's entrapping people in debt. But the problem with this is that a lot of people don't actually read what they're signing themselves into. They go to these places and they get their loan and they sign the contract before they even really read into what they have to do. And then by the time that it comes where they have to pay, that's whenever they get upset, because it's like, well, I didn't agree to this, and when really you did. It's not the business's fault that you did not read the terms that you were agreeing to. It's really just your own fault. It's when people have to deal with the consequences of what they've done that they like to complain a lot. So that's a really big problem that a lot of people have, and it's not really that right. In my opinion, whenever you're going to go and take out money or take a loan, you should check what interest rate you'll be paying, when you'll be paying it, and about how much you'll actually end up paying overall. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of reluctant to agree to a credit card, because then I could eventually end up spending money that I don't have, and that's what causes people to get sucked into debt. Some credit card companies will actually tell you how much you owe, and how long it'll take you to pay off the minimum, or pay off your debt if you only pay the monthly minimum, and about how long it'll take to pay that off, along with how much you'll end up paying in order to complete that. And also, as one of my teachers explained, her credit card company also places another number there where if you pay about $15 more than what the minimum is, it shows how big of a reduction, how big of a reduction of time and payment that it becomes, whether it can be as much as $10,000 different and up to 2 or 3 years less that you would be stuck in this debt should you only pay the monthly minimum. And I don't know, it's just kind of something to think about, because if you don't get a credit card, then you don't establish credit, and that can make purchasing larger items difficult, because then the company doesn't know if you actually make payments on time or anything like that. So it's kind of something that you have to take, or to do at your own risk. This episode is going to be ridiculously short today because I was still unable to find a time where the house was completely empty. I tried to record an episode for last week as well using my headphones in my car, but the audio quality was something that I was not comfortable releasing, and so that's why I ended up just missing. So that's pretty much all for this episode. Really short, only about 7 minutes. So I appreciate you all listening. Again, shameless plug time, short episode, kind of not really worth it, but you can support the show on Patreon at Intel Incomp, or you can follow us on Twitter at Intel Incomp. That's spelled INTELINCOMP. Thanks for listening and have a great day.